Todo tuyo aquí. Podéis. ¿Está bien escrito?
Sí, sí.
Siempre me da miedo. Sí. Okay, so good morning, everybody. We have today with us a good friend of mine. His name is Chris. He was the founder of one of the companies called Masmovil. It's a mobile virtual network operator, which has been extremely successful in Spain. Chris, we know each other for about 15 years when we were working at Ericsson in Spain. Although he started also in Ericsson Thailand. He was having a much better start than I was doing in Sweden. We have also common friends. I can call it like a Swedish mafia or something like that. So there are a group of friends that they all relate to each other. And some of them you may be seeing here, like Albin Tusanen or Niklas Gustafsson also is one of the mentors who's been here. The idea of introducing him today is to know a little bit more about what he's been doing so far. He set up a company from scratch. That was about 10 years ago. The company had about 150,000 subscribers when they merged and they went IPO. This is quite an unusual company. I mean, to be IPO nowadays is extremely complicated because of the market itself and also because of the regulation and all the other things. But they successfully IPO about 1.5 years ago. His starts were quite painful, I mean, as all the startups you could see here. So he was suffering also ups and down. I
think it was painful, basically 80% of the journey.
80% of the journey.
We were very close, 4 or 5 times, to go bankrupt, or to, let's say, get a sell-off of the company at an extremely low valuation.
Yeah.
And in the end, right now the company is a group of Masmovil and it's worth 250 million euros.
And that is something, yeah.
But I always want to stress the thing about that we were so close to go bankrupt several times.
Yeah.
I'm proud of saying that instead of just saying that everything went wrong.
So how is your feet now?
Feet are good.
Okay. Last time he was here, he was suffering for a twist ankle, and the doctor that is been treating you, he was also putting an injection on him. Yeah, that is we've been saving this.
I was saving with my leg up.
Yeah. So it was extremely painful also for him to be here. The idea is that he will explain to you a little bit about all the things he was doing. He was raising money at a very complicated times. He was able to raise 5 million euros from nothing, and then add another 3 million euros more also from the same investors. Conditions were not the same, and this is something that maybe he can help you out to understand the tricks. Also, you need to be talking to about investors. And at the end, he raised about 60 million euros. So that is quite an amazing position. I can say that he's one out of the 6 companies in Europe that they were able to do this. This is quite incredible. Nowadays, he's also into the same boat you are. So he's launching another company, another startup called Phoner. This is an app you can download to try to optimize how much you pay for the mobile.
Or elevator speed.
Okay.
Which,
it's going to be yours.
No.
I know. So it's your time.
You can just use it with Android, but what it does, it's measure. You can download it for free on Android, and you measure the individual consumption of each person. And it says, okay, based on your consumption, this and this and this are the best tariffs in the market, in the whole market for you, and you can say this and this. So you will get one recommendation, and all of you another one, based on your individual consumption on voice, SMS, internet data, everything. Okay.
What's the name of the application?
Phoner, PHONR. Okay. So spread the word. Download it. Spread the word, please.
And he's also raising money. So he's in the same boat that you may be. Also, the company launched about 9 days ago.
Yeah,
10 days ago.
9 was yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Now it's 10 days, pretty recently. And I can tell you that he can also explain you the differences between a company launching a company about 10 years ago and nowadays, about raising fund at that time and nowadays at this time. So he's learning also. So he's not only teaching about everything he's been doing, but he's learning from the everyday. Yesterday night we had a very long conversation until 1 o'clock. So you could see right now in my face that I'm pretty exhausted because of that. I was with.
It's getting old.
Yeah, we can say that the Nordics are made of a different DNA. I'm not able to be. We are about the same age. I mean, you could say that he has a much better face than. We share also some of the hobbies, kite surfing. You're gonna see him in Tarifa. Also bought a house here in Tarifa, so you're gonna be seeing him quite often here and to the Costa del Sol. The idea is that you can spend some quality time with him. We are not restricted in time, so he's going to be here until 7 o'clock. He needs to be also meeting Juan and some other people, but we want you to interact with him. Questions about that you may have straight away that everybody could be interested in asking? He's from Norway, by the way, and he was raising money in the Nordics also. So mostly he raised money in the Nordics, a little bit like Morten did also from Denmark. So he knows pretty well about how difficult it is to raise money in the southern part of Spain.
Where is the European country do you think is the best place to work? Actually work.
To work. The best place to work.
The country.
The country.
As a startup, you understand.
As a startup, I don't know, because I haven't. I lived in Italy, Portugal, Spain, Norway, Sweden. Yeah. For a startup, I think Sweden, and also the way they accommodate the whole thing. Sweden is good. I heard Denmark is also very good in that sense. Norway, it's a bit. It's not that good with how they do with the taxation for the options. The options if you have stock options and all that. It's a lot of discussion that they're not very. The government is not doing a very good job there. But I was in Sweden or Finland. Finland has a lot of startups, but I don't know Finland. I've never been there, so I'm not really the guy to ask. I should have said Malaga, Spain, no? But
no. Why did you choose to be in Spain? So that will be the question, because you've been here
because I love the country. That was why. And then I spotted a business opportunity, Masmovil. I wanted to launch a mobile operator in Spain because I saw that the market opened up, and I thought, okay, Spain had like 3 oligopoly, no? 3 players, 3 operators, for a market with 45 million people, with the highest prices in the whole Europe, and with lousy service. So then Houston, you have a business case, right? So high prices and lousy and bad service, and the market was opening up. That's what I wanted to go in and be the first one with startup mobile operator. So that's a business opportunity. But apart from that, before that, I want to live in Spain because I like the quality of life here. We can have good quality of life here. Not if you work for the big corporate. Then you just work from 9 o'clock until 8 o'clock every day if you want to make your career. As an entrepreneur, you do the same, or even more hours, but at least you choose how you do things and so on.
we were discussing about in which country that it makes sense. Also, his new business model, Phoner, about telling you how to save money using your mobile phone. We were discussing that probably the Nordics are not very keen to change your operator based that you're going to be saving, I don't know, 20 euros, something like that. We were discussing that 20 euros is 2 glasses of wine, so they don't care. But Southern Europe is quite price sensitive about this. So people will change their operator just because of that. Would you say that probably to live close to the market you're going to be serving is a good point? I mean, for a startup.
Yeah, I think so. You need to know your service. You need to know the product. After all, you're going to sell it, and you're going to be how much? Very few persons, right? You need to feel the market. I mean, you need to ask yourself, would I use this service? You can ask your friends, would you use our service? And if they ask no, well, then it's maybe because their profile is not really the adequate one, but you should find somebody who said definitely yes. I mean, I'm not the best target person for this phone because I'm not that price sensitive, right? I don't care if I shouldn't say that because I'm from Masmovil and Toner, but I don't care too much if I pay 10 euros more or less on my mobile bill. I couldn't care less really. But don't say that I said that outside of here because I'm founder of Masmovil and Toner, but I'm not that price sensitive. But others are. So then you need to find them. You need to talk to them. You need to smell the market. Yes, I think it's important to be on spot. At least part of the team.
Questions?
Can you describe? I saw that you have already 50,000 downloads, which is not bad at all. Can you describe?
Oh, 50,000?
Yeah.
No.
Did I see?
No. No.
If
If it would be that, I would be really jumping up and down right now.
this is not right.
Yeah. Phoner.
No, it's competition. Oh.
Is it work?
No? Okay.
Do you want to
Okay. No, then
We did a very soft launch because we don't have any money still. So apart from my little money.
Okay.
So.
how are you going to do your to get your first downloads then?
Well, what we'll do is we'll spend a lot of time. Well, what the strategy is basically a couple of things. We're gonna be very focused on social networks, everybody, but we're gonna have good executor there. We're not gonna spend a lot of money on online advertising because that's really expensive right now. It's really bad payoff. Now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna actually give out money to each person that choose to do a portability through our app. So if you look at our app and you say that, this is good. I mean, if I can save 25 euros per month swapping from Vodafone to, let's say, Masmovil, it's good. I want to do the portability. Instead of just picking up the phone or go to your web, your fixed web or whatever, we're going to say, hey, use our app, doing that portability. We'll give you 10 euros in cash. And spread the word, and if your friend will do the same, you'll get 5 euros more, you get 15. So we will give you money, and that's sort of our strategy for the growth hacking. Sorry. Yeah. And but what the whole thing is to get a good user base, and we hope that in half a year or 1 year we can go to the big media channels and we say, hey, why don't we do a swap equity for advertising?
And what is your goal in 1 year to get how many users?
In 1 year, we want to have 200,000 downloads. How many? I don't care too much the first year. Now, this is interesting because you're all getting into the money game. I mean, I've been seeing different investors now. The left hand, or some of the investors said, "Hi, it's all about getting a really huge user base and a lot of downloads. Don't care about the money the first year. Just get a lot of users, and then the business model will come." Well, I'm on that track. That's your strategy. After a lot of discussions, that's your strategy. Back and forth. No, the other one, and we discussed this a lot, and suddenly another investor said, no, you need to show traction that you earn money from day one and that you're really getting a lot of conversion rate and portability, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, we're not ready for that. But okay, opposite directions. What you need to do that, then it's to argue your case, but show that you really thought about both directions, right? Because yesterday they forget about getting a huge database. That's easy and so on. Come on, it's not easy. And no, that's not the way. You should go this way. Blah 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 blah. Completely opposite what the other investor said. It's okay to be not to agree with investors sometimes, but you must really argue. You can never ever be prepared enough. Do your dry runs in front of your mirror the day before. Do it with your colleague, with your friends, and so on. You need to answer all the details. And another just like trick when you get to investors, because some of them try to find out what they know about you in forehand. Okay, maybe they know quite a lot about you. Maybe they don't spend 15-20 minutes about your team. If Rafa or someone else found out something about your team, right? Because they know that and they have little time. But sometimes they interrupt you all the time, and you're starting to make really good. You have your whole speech ready, and they interrupt you and say, "How do you make money?" And you want to tell them something completely else, and so on. I think it's important if you have a little time to get when they throw questions at you. Sometimes you should take them and answer, but don't interrupt what you your story. So I said to the investor, "Hey, good story. I'll answer that. I will get back to that." And second, don't make a tricky one. Don't take a quick fix. If you don't know a question to what the investor says sometimes, be cool about it. Chill. They say, I don't know right now, but I'll find out. I'll get back to you. I think my colleague knows. I think one of the consultants knows. I don't know. It's fine sometimes you don't know anything. Don't panic about that. Say, I'll find out. But then you find out. If not, you're dead. Then you come back the day after and say, hey, what you asked about, dung, 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 dung. Here it is.
More questions?
You said you're going to aim more on social media, and I'm assuming you're not doing a lot through, for instance, Google AdWords or something like that. But how are you going to do that in reality on social media? Are you going to post a lot, or
are you going to be,
how does it look like?
How are we going to make it in the social media? It needs, first, two things. You need to have a lot of good content there, right? So you can not only, first you need to have good content, and the second you need to have good styles. You need the content and the context, sort of saying, right? I have a lot of respect for the content and the style and so on, because our users are younger than me. So I'm stepping back a little bit and I'm telling the young guys that, okay, you know more about this than I do. You need to put the style and we have a communication strategy, but you need to, I give them free hands to have the sort of the context and the style. But the content needs to be good. It needs to be, for example, really smart advices about how to use your mobile phone, how to save battery, how to save money, tips and tricks which are useful. You cannot just hey, picture from the office. Sometimes yes, because it gives you a bit like proximity, a feeling, and so on. I'm in favor of that also, but I mean you cannot post 80% of that and 20% content. It has to be.
How many people work on it?
Right now, we just we're in a phase to get money, so we just to work on that. Right now, we just 2 people work very part time. We need to have the money to get this going.
And then your goal is to have 10 people or what?
No, we more have 5 people full time dedicated in the beginning, but now we have 3-4 who have time. That's not good enough. The half-time thing is not good enough. We need people who are dedicated. I also use, because I've been in the press a lot with Masmovil, that's one edge I have.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to use the press. I know I can get articles about Fonger in Expansion and so on. I know the guys. I know they will. I haven't done it yet. I'll wait for the timing a little bit. We're still a little bit too fresh.
Yeah.
But I'll do it soon.
What's your main criteria for hiring people?
Main criteria. One word. Attitude.
All right.
What help can you?
No, I mean just but attitude. I mean, I think with attitude you can go wherever. I mean, you don't need to be the smartest guy in the class. As long as you're not stupid or you have the base of good thinking brain, which everyone has here, and a lot of people outside here also has. If you really have the attitude, you can go very far. So that's more important to attitude than nothing else.
But how can you check attitude before you hire someone?
Sorry?
How can you check attitude before hiring someone? So
Well, I started a recruitment company, so I also had a lot of traction with Masmovil. You have your checklist of questions a little bit. You try to find out what values people have. What are the values in life? How have they come where they are? What's important for them? What should I say? You have to really do a lot of questions. You have to, for example, find out a little bit if they're honest, or if they're just like selling in. You can ask yourself, what are you good at? What are you not good at? If you can't answer what they're good at, they just selling. You say, okay, are you good at, for example, are you good in sales? Oh yeah, okay. Tell me what are you most proud about? What you achieved in life, in sales, in your professional life? What are you most proud about in private life? Which people are you working good with? Which people are you not working good with? And if the guys are trabajo bien con todo, no. If I work good with everybody, yes, I'm good at everything. It's a bullshitter. I can also do, like I said, attitude. By attitude, that means, of course, you need to work hard. You need to be direct, no bullshit. We had that as a company culture in Masmovil. We had a picture of a bull with a prohibited sign, a bull making a shit. No bullshit, right? Be clear to the point, and yeah. That's very important.
Yeah. More questions?
I
would like to say
when you need a team, you need complementary skills, right? There's no point having. Maybe it depends a bit on the business idea, the concept, the product. But you don't want to have two guys who are the same. You don't want to have two potential CEOs. Who's going to do the sales part and who's going to be the CTO part? It's very good for investors to see that you are complementary and that you say what you're complementary at. And you show it. That's good. And that both have respect, both or the three or the four have respect for each other's qualities and so on.
Yeah, one comment about the size of the company when they ask you how big you are, how many people you have in the company. Normally, a few years ago, if you say we're 5 people, everybody's going to be thinking, okay, this is just a company, but it's a studying and everything. But nowadays, it's the other way around. I mean, if you're a few people, that means you're spending less. Also, the burn rate of your company is much less than it was before. So it's cool to say we are only this kind of people. So don't worry, say it loud. I mean, be proud of it. I think Dropbox, until they hit 1 billion valuation, they were 50 people working in the company. So that was fine. I mean, you don't need to be recruiting a lot of people. Of course, there are people like they are not going to be like it, like the mayor of town, or if you're into an industrial area and everybody's expecting that you're going to be recruiting thousands of people, but that is not the case. So be proud of that you're a few. That keeps your money in a good position. So. That is my advice. I mean, be proud. More questions. I know you all. Okay. Alberto.
How do you see raising money in Spain now? Like compared to what it was like 10 years ago and what the situation now? Since you're raising money, what are the channels? What are the people you're looking at? What are the CVs? It's better.
I just started now. I think it's a bit difficult. I'm a bit biased to answer that question because I can tell how it was 10 years ago or 8 or 6 with Masmovil. But now when I start raising money, it's a bit, I just started and I get a lot of credit for Masmovil. And I was saying, hey, I do need another one which is in telecom and it's in Spain. So then I get a lot of goodwill for that. We discussed it yesterday over the dinner, but he said, yeah, but now you're the president and you're not working 100%. You're not bleeding this startup. It's a problem. He's right. I'm not the CEO and 100% active. Yes, I work, but I'm not work like I did with Masmovil. I'll not work 80 hours a week. And that might be a problem for some of the investors. To your question, I think they're more perceptive now. I think they know that good small startup from wherever can go global. So I think they're more and more up to it now than 8 to 10 years ago. 18 years ago, they were very conservative. In the end, we need to find Nordic investors for Masmovil, Norwegians. I think they're more open now. They've seen that there are Spanish startups that really goes well. I mean, you have Wallapop as a good example. I think they're more perceptive now. But there is still conservative. So it's embedded in that culture, Spanish deep learning culture, to be skeptical about things like this and conservative.
But would you go to angel investors or would you go to institutional investor? What's the best channel for you?
We also had that discussion, and of course, the best thing is to have the smart money. If you go and get a good deal with a smart guy who knows your business, who can help you with a lot of his network, who can push it out, maybe go to the media, blah 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 blah. Who can guide you. That's great. But in the end, it's not only this. It's not like you can sit there and pick. Sometimes you just need to take the money that is there, right? Yeah. You never stop searching for money. Even if you get funded the first time, you're still looking because you need more runs. The business case maybe said, I just need 1 or maybe 2 runs. The future is different. You might need 3, 4. You need to start. You need to never stop searching. And I think you cannot. If you know that there are rich guys that are interested in technology and so on, I'm talking to some of them. Okay, then welcome to talk. It's fine. If I want a name, Martin Wasowski, the founder of Just Tell and Mediatica, to invest in Foner, rather have him than a rich business angel who doesn't even know what the app is. Yes, of course I want, but I'm probably not in that position to sit there and pick. So you need to really pitch a lot.
Yeah, I think it's important also you name the people by what they are. I mean, you call them everybody business angel, the one that is giving you money, but we only should call business angel the ones that know your business, the one you're in. All the others, we call it early investors. That's it. Okay. But we don't talk to someone that has been invested in my company that has no idea of what he's doing. Call it business angel. Okay, what about control of your company? When do you think you need to be losing a little bit of control of your company? In which round? The second, the third, the fourth? Because here we will try to tell the startups about trying to protect the equity and the control of your company, about the people that they are really running the company. When do you think is the right time to start losing control in raising the money?
difficult questions. Best thing is that you're in the third year after, maybe third round or something.
Yeah.
But that's a difficult question. Sometimes you need to lose it.
Yeah.
In order to get money.
And when you start raising money, do you utilize your existing network, or do you also do cold acquisition?
No, but
When raising funds?
when raising funds, if you go to existing ones or new ones,
Exactly.
both. I mean, the best thing is like if you need to have a first round or second round, the best thing is that you can say like, "Dear investor, do you want to put in money on this one? It's a pre-money valuation of 1.5. We need €500,000. Are you with me? Do you like the concept? Blah, blah. And you have another one there. You can sort of say that you have two. That's good. Then you're positioned to negotiate. But they know very well sometimes if you only have that chance. You might like that, but it might squeeze you a lot in the end. But we didn't one mistake in Masmovil, for example, in the beginning. We got a really good valuation the first one, and we fought a lot to have a really high valuation. Blah, 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 blah. In the end, the investors, I think they knew that this was not going to fly like that. Like our business case said, that we needed more rounds and say, okay, we're going to put money on this valuation. But remember this, we give in to you right now. If your business case will not accomplish, then we're talking about a completely other valuation. And that happened. And he said, remember what I said? Now you pay. You cannot give that amount of money out in the second round and that ownership, or no, we cannot. That's what I told you. Go and find it somewhere else. No, we had no other choice. But what you can do in the end, if they push you too much and you're giving away your control, you're giving away a lot of money. In the end, you can, because in the end, the investor depends on you, the founders, a lot. So in the end, you can sort of play that game as well and say, like, listen, I'm taking a very low salary, which I will get outside in the market, 50% or whatever. And second, now I'm getting so diluted.
Hands off.
Find another guy. If you want to push me that hard and dilute me that much, this company is not interested for me, even though I'm a founder. Find another guy. Then they become, maybe we should not dilute you that much. We're fine, because if they want to still to be on board. So you can play with that one.
I can tell you a story also off the record from a venture capital in Spain also, who invested in a company and then had a tremendous fight with one of the CEOs, the CEO they had, and they fired the CEO at the end. A year later, they were calling back the CEO to say, we need you to continue, otherwise this is going. And that happens quite often. You have it in Twitter right now. I think Jack Dorsey is coming back to Twitter to save Twitter. And this is a hard game you need to be playing. As soon as you have an investor, they're going to be playing very hard on you. I mean, because you need to be achieving and getting the most out of you. But there's a fine line about putting too much pressure on someone and then killing the business. But it may happen to you that they will force you out as a CEO of the company. And I don't know if you had that kind of conversation internally within Masmovil, but I know sooner or later it will pop up. Some of the investors, they will try to be extremely forcing you to force you out. Or some of the founders also. Yeah. We have also another mentor that probably is going to be doing remotely. He's right now in the States. He raised money out of a venture capital, Draper Jurvetson and Ventures. I think it was a tremendous valuation, and they were going almost bankrupt. So they were asking for a little bit more of money. When they asked for a tiny amount of money to just survive, they put extremely difficult clauses into the term sheet of that, into the shareholder agreement. They finally sold the company to Google for about 20 million euros, something like that, or 30 million. But the founders, they only got about 100,000 euros.
That's shit.
that was really, really bad. And those are clauses that you need to bear in mind that sooner or later they're going to be putting on you. So those are anti-dilution clauses, or they need to have like 3 times the money they put in before you even smell any money, this kind of thing. So beware, anytime you're raising money, try to raise the thing that you need and no more, but be sure you're fundraising all the time because you may need that. Anyhow, any more questions? Should we go directly to the one-to-ones? One-to-ones? Yeah. I know you all are extremely busy. You need to be filling in the impact. I don't know if you did it already, but if you don't, please go ahead, and you have a few hours still, and let's save some time for interacting with Chris. He's a very nice guy, and I think sooner or later you're going to be needing his contacts. So thank you.
Thank you.
And